Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Columbus Bass Club event, April 15th, 2023. Before I get into it, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. If you would please, that's a great way to support the channel. And if you like the video, and I'm going to break down what exactly we did yesterday. There wasn't a whole lot going on. We drew pit number 41 is the pit that we ended up drawing, and that's the pit we went to. And there just wasn't much going on in it. The water was really stained, and there was a lot of slime, or I don't know if it's called green algae or what, moss. It's like a green moss, like a slimy moss. I don't know if it's algae. I don't know if it's moss. I don't know what the exact name of it is. But it was in there, and it was all on the bank about 4 foot out, 2 to 4 foot, 5 foot, right out, just kind of in that area. And it was just all over the bank, so you couldn't get up in anything. Any of the structure up shallow was just covered in it. It didn't matter what you threw in it. You could try punching through it. It just got slimed up. So there wasn't really much you could do up in that, so you had to fish off the edges, and there wasn't a whole lot of fish off the edges. So it was a really big struggle. I only had 2 bites all day. I landed one of them, and the other one I missed. And same with my partner. He did not get a bite all day either. So that's the only 2 bites we had together all day long. And the tournament altogether was just absolutely tough for everybody. There was some teams that did make it in time, so they had their weight taken away because they didn't make it in. But I think the ones that caught them the best, they still only had 3 fish. They didn't even fill out a limit. And the other team, I'm not sure what he had in his, but I know he had a couple of fish. I think he had one good one. I know the team that did not make it in time, the one that had the 3 fish, they had one around 5 pounds, they said, and another one around 3 pounds, but they didn't make it back to the weigh-in time. So those 2 didn't make it back in, but the other teams that all weighed in, it took 2 pounds to 3 ounces to win the tournament. That was just one bass, was just 2 pounds, 3 ounces. So that just goes to show you how tough the fishing was. I caught one fish that was, 9 ounces. It was longer than it was. Well, it was longer than it was, more than it was weight. So it was only 9 ounces, but it was 10 inches long. And I caught it, actually, you could look in the video there, and right here, I caught it on a Vexan 4-foot fat boy, and that is Colby Bass Candy is the name of that color there. And that was right about the time the wind quit blowing, and that was right there outside of the point coming out of that middle section. So right here, when you zoom in and look on this pit right here, it's going to show you, and I got that fish on the crankbait right where that red area is, right outside of that point of that second cove there. And I should have kind of stayed in that area right there because that wind was still blowing. I should have went back on that point, and I should have went back to that other point and fished right there around those 2 points, because I know another good fish was caught off of that point. I don't know if that's one of them that did not get weighed in. I think that was one of them that didn't get weighed in. It was caught shortly after that, about 30 minutes after that on that point. So I switched to the crankbait, and I switched to the crankbait about the time the crankbait bite really died off, because the wind was dying off right about that time. The wind was blowing real hard when we got in there, and that's when that crankbait bite would have been on, or a topwater bite would have been on. But I zoomed to the back, mainly to that middle cove right there in the middle section. That's a good area of that pit. I wanted to get back there and try to get a morning bite back in there when I got in there, and it just never happened for me back there. So I came back out and went to the main body, and that's where I got the one fish. So I don't know what else I would have done different other than throwing a topwater that morning and some more moving baits in the morning I didn't know about. But I didn't know there was that much slime everywhere until later on. I should have threw the topwater a little bit more. So now here is a video of the fish catch right here. Bud has a lot of it. Oh, there's one, Kyler. Yeah, get that. Got him. Might be too long, but... Alright. So that's a good sign. That's one anyway.
It's not okay. Uh-huh. So, might have you throw that other crankbait there, Kyler. I'll get it out for you. You can try it out. We'll see if this pattern continues anyway. He was hooked good too. He wasn't going nowhere. Oh yeah. He ain't a giant bite, y'all. He's a fish, okay? On in the live well, baby. We got points now, dang it. We got our points. Now we got to get a limit. Right. That's the start. Okay. All right.
And now that you're back after seeing that fish catch right there, my next bite, the only other bite I had, was in the tree that is right there. This will be the green right here on this picture. This will be the green just right across from the boat ramp, just right north of the boat ramp. And that is actually where the winning fish was caught as well. And just shortly after that, about 10 to 20 minutes after that, he didn't tell me that's where he caught the fish until after the tournament, but he caught that fish and we just seen him come from that point, that tree, just shortly before we got there. And then I missed the bite off that tree. And here a few years ago, the big bass in March, I think it was 2 years ago, in a Columbus Bass Club event, was caught off of that tree. So that is a tree to go to if you want to catch fish, guys. And I missed a decent bite there as well on a shaky head later in the day with a June bug trickworm. And that was it. That's the only 2 bites I had all day. So looking forward to the next one. The good news is we moved up. Me and Kyler moved up in the points. Kyler is my partner for this year. My son was going to be my partner, but he said that he wants Kyler to be my partner. So he's pretty busy with baseball. So he's tied up with that. And he's like, Dad, I want you to fish with Kyler. I think he just don't want to fish right now. He's into baseball. So, and Kyler's more into the fishing. So Kyler's going to be my partner this year. So we moved up to second in the team of the year. We're actually tied for second, so that is good. We're only 2 points behind the leader. So if we can keep this pace up, we got 5 more events left. I think it is. Yes, we got 5 more events left, and they take our best 5 events. So far we got a 1st and a 5th place. So those are our best 2 so far. So we got 5 more to try and get 5 more higher than 5th place. So that is our goal for the rest of the season. And there was only 5 boats that brought in a fish out of 19, and I would only been 7 out of 19 had the 2 made it back in time that did not make it back with the fish. So that just goes to show you how tough the fishing was in that pit. Now, that goes to tell you, though, the fishing wasn't bad everywhere in the pits, though. There was a kayak tournament that went out, and it took, I think, 90 inches to win it. So the fish were biting pretty good, just not in there. So that's where the pits can be humbling, is one day you can go out and think, oh, this is just terrible, but it's just the pit you're in. Just like this pit we was in, just the fishing was not there. It was not good. It didn't matter really what you threw. Everybody struggled in that pit. 19 boats and one. Sorry about that. My phone ran out of memory there. So only 5 teams caught a fish, or 7 would have caught a fish. Out of these 19 boats in there, nobody had a limit, a 5-fish limit at all. So that just goes to show you what different pits and how they fish on a different day. And that pit there is a very good pit. That is one of the few pits I have caught 3 over 18 inches out of in the same day or the same setting. So that's exactly how we caught them. That's how it went. I'm looking forward to the next one in May and trying to inch our way back into that team of the year. Hopefully I'm shooting for a 3rd year in a row. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully the fishing picks up. It's been a rough year for me, but we're starting to get into my time of the year when I like to fish, is the summertime. I like to fish pretty much. I'm not a good fisherman when the water's in the 60s like it is now, because there's so many different ways you can catch them. I like it simplified, which in the wintertime there's only a few ways, but I just don't seem to catch them better than everybody else. But the summer in the pits is when I love it the most. That seems to be my time of the year in the pits. That's when things fish better my way. So hopefully this year that can be the trend going into the summer as well. Last year I struggled. I had my highest finish was 3rd place all the way until July. And then that is when I got my first win, and that's where I came back and got 3 wins at the end of the year. So hopefully that's how it goes this year. I just got to keep, got myself in contention. We have ourselves in contention. I say I, it's we, it's a team. I just get talking to my videos like but it's a we, me and Kyler. We still got a chance. We just got to get up there and stay up there. And, now getting the bigger fields, it's going to be more difficult to stay up there in the top. So getting a top 5 finish once again in this tournament was a great way to keep the points up there. Now we just got to shoot for more top 5s in the next 5 events. That is the goal. And hopefully the fishing picks up, guys. So thanks for tuning in.